Away from the energy markets, Nigeria has always been referred to as the giant of Africa. The country is not only a giant because of its landmass, population, and abundant human and material resources, but also for the love and support it renders to other African countries during the times of need. And as Nigeria is currently going through a recession, many believe it's time to look inwards and think of ways and means of building the country. And one person who seems to believe so much in made in Nigeria and making Nigeria self-sufficient is the CEO, Barbaric Digital, Najib Bello. Thank you very much, Najib, for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Chimezi.
Now, can Nigeria really be self-sufficient?
Well, any country that puts its mind towards self-sufficiency can actually do it. Nigeria, one thing we really have a lot of is the market. We have a huge market of about almost 200 million, 170 to 200 million people. So if we decide that we want to make products and services for our people, we'll be able to do it as long as we're assured of a market. People who import things into Nigeria, they know our market is important, and that's what we have to go into. It's sustainable once we decide, once we have policy and we have the willingness and we have trained people who can do these things, who can manufacture products in Nigeria. We can have something sustainable made in Nigeria.
Now, talking about made in Nigeria, I know that Nigerians are very resilient people and they are very hardworking people, and they are ready to do anything. But then they challenge Nigerians face in terms of production or being productive is actually the issue of power.
Yes, power is a major issue. Without power, I always say without power you can do nothing. That's the definition of power they gave us in school, and that's what it is. We need power, and in terms of what we need right now about 200,000 megawatts of electricity to sustain Nigeria right now, industry, homes, and everything. We are doing currently less than 4,000 megawatts. So power is a major issue. I'm looking at, it will take a long time. Transmission is terrible. We have a problem of transmission. Even if all the generation companies could produce as much as their installed capacity, the problem of transmission is still there. So my own solution to that is Nigerians should begin to go off-grid.
Why?
Because there's no good transmission lines. So instead of waiting for year 2025 when we'll have a good, I'm not saying that we should abandon our transmission lines. Government should work on it, the private companies should work on it, but before then, let's try to find an alternative, which is have your own power system, not the generator you pour fuel in that, let's have something renewable, sustainable, wind power, solar power, other systems. And when I'm saying we should have renewable power, it's not just me. Governments have been saying it, solar, but we keep importing these things too. And that is a problem.
So the material, are you saying the materials can actually be sourced inwards?
Yes, we can start manufacturing solar panels here. It's not enough for you to say we are going solar and you are going to import millions and millions of solar panels. It won't work. We're importing batteries. So what we need to do is start manufacturing those things right here.
All right, you do quite a number of that.
Yes.
How do you source your materials locally?
Locally, for me right now, what I'm trying to go into is wind energy because it's simpler. I got local people who make motors. They fix generators, they fix pumping machines, and I gave them a device to coil for me, and I took some metal blades. I've created my blades. The only thing I cannot get locally right now is the magnets. There are some magnets you have to use.
In other words, you still have to import them.
I have to import those. But eventually, once we have that running and we've tested our systems and they're working properly, we can now, because people who want to produce, they can't come here and start producing those magnets till they know that there are people that are going to buy their magnets. So once we have our systems running, we've created like 2 wind turbines. We are testing them out, and we've talked to some governments, we've talked to some private entities, Eco Atlantic, 7up, Lagos government, Kwara, to say, okay, let's demonstrate this thing for you. You like it, we use it to light up your streets and everything. So they are interested and they say, okay, let's give you some more time to improve your design. So we can actually make those. Solar panels are a bit more difficult because you have to be very strict in making them. There cannot be any particle of dust when you are making. So and Nigerians, one of the things we lack is very good skills. We don't teach technical work properly. A lot of the things we do, of course, we teach, we want to train doctors, we want to train, but then technical skills are lacking. I was telling Boasin the other day that we don't make handkerchiefs in Nigeria. Something so simple as that, a piece of cloth. We can't because we bring them from China. So to get people to do this thing properly, they have to be properly trained. We don't have machinery. People in the clothing industry, our fashion designers, they say they need a hub, a place they can go. There are machines that they cannot afford individually. I talked to a designer, Kola Kudus. He said in 9 years, he spent 17 million naira. He has his books. He has spent 17 million naira on generators and diesel. That is not part of what he puts in the cloth. So we need to fix that. We need to train. We need to... Then our import rules. We have laws that allow people to import. Like this handkerchiefs I'm saying. Someone goes to a bank and says, I want to buy dollars. What do you want to import? I want to import handkerchiefs.
Toothpicks.
And toothpicks and paper. And nobody tells them, Oga, why don't you go and make this thing? So we have to check our import laws and say, okay, if you're importing a new product into Nigeria, tell us how many years. We'll give you 2 years to import this product.